Hey everyone. Wow, I'm looking really rough. I'm actually upstairs. I just got done cleaning my house. This is my first video. I just wanted to get on here. I'm using this channel basically to try to keep myself accountable. On Monday, I am having VSG surgery. If you don't know what that is, it's called vertical gastric sleeve surgery. I'm doing it at Mon Valley Hospital. My surgeon is Dr. Gonzalez. I'm very nervous. Today's Thursday, so I have less than 4 days to prepare for it. I did start my pre-op diet. If you're not familiar with the VSG surgery, what they do is they actually remove a big portion of your stomach. And in doing so, they remove a portion of your stomach that tells you that you're hungry. It also helps you control hormones, which is my biggest issue. Those of you who already know me personally might already know that I struggle with something called PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. What that is it's an endocrine disorder, I guess you could say. I see an endocrinologist for it. I've been following with endocrine for several years. Nothing has really worked for me as far as diets or exercise. I'll lose the weight, but then it'll come back. I just wanted to kind of start this channel not only to give other people information on the VSG surgery, but I also wanted to keep myself accountable. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos whenever I was deciding to go through with this surgery, and it really helped me out. So I was thinking, well, maybe if these videos helped me, I could help somebody else. So don't mind me, I'm in my bedroom right now. My daughter's downstairs sleeping. I just came up here to film this really quick. I just wanted to talk about why I decided that the surgery is the best option for me. As I said, I have PCOS, so I've been dealing with that since I was 15. I've always been chubbier, but I noticed whenever I turned probably about 13, 14, right around the time that I started my menstrual cycle, that I was rapidly gaining weight. Nothing else had changed in my life. My lifestyle hadn't changed. Just my menses started, and I really didn't know how to control it. I was not really aware of it until I realized that none of my clothes fit me, and all the girls around me were a lot thinner than I was, and it was, as a teenage girl, gaining 100 pounds in the course of 6 months is very scary. It really was something that, brought to my attention that something was going on, but we didn't really know that I had PCOS until I turned 15. And we found out because I was actually getting ready to go on a school field trip. The next day, I went to sleep one night, and I woke up in the middle of the night and it felt like somebody was stabbing me. That's the best way I can explain it. It was a stabbing feeling in my lower abdomen. I remember crawling into my mom's bed with her and saying, "Something's wrong." When she took me up to the hospital, they realized I had a cyst on my ovary, and they noticed I had other cysts as well. So they referred me to endocrine, and I've been seeing endocrine and gynecology for the past, 12, 13 years. They attributed my weight gain to the PCOS as well. I've tried a lot of diets, as I had mentioned. The only thing that ever really helped me lose weight, I'd say, was the good old starvation diet, which we all know isn't good for you. But I was a teenage girl, I wanted to be thinner, and I starved myself. And I still wasn't under 200 pounds. I think I was still about 210. And it's been really weighing a toll on me. I didn't really care. I don't want to say I didn't care how I looked, but I didn't really care what other people thought about me. I did get bullied a little bit. I did get called fat, but I didn't really care. I've always been blessed with the type of attitude where if people say something about me, I can just kind of brush it off. But as I'm getting older and I am getting new health issues, I'm realizing that the PCOS needs to be dealt with. So I got pregnant and had my daughter last year. Her name's Willow. She's a year and a half old. Whenever I had her during my pregnancy, I got up to like 320 pounds almost. And it was a lot of weight. I was mostly water weight because I did have preeclampsia, but it was unreal how big and swollen and horrible my pregnancy was. I was very sick for most of my pregnancy. I had hyperemesis, which means I just threw up the entire time. I had a really hard time with pregnancy. And then after having her, the high blood pressure still followed me. So along with my PCOS, I had high blood pressure. And then I met with my endocrinologist about a year after my daughter was born, and he had told me that I was on the verge of being diabetic. And I'm a nurse, so being diabetic scares me. It scares the crap out of me, actually. A lot of my patients are diabetic. I've seen them lose a lot of their limbs. God forbid that should ever have to happen to any of you. It's not an easy thing to go through. So that's when I really started looking into VSG, and I found Dr. Gonzalez at Mon Valley Hospital. I went to one of his informational sessions, and I not only fell in love with his personality, and just he seemed like somebody I could trust. I do have a couple friends who had the VSG surgery as well. One who did go to Dr. Gonzalez, and she had great results. She looks wonderful. So she also let me bother her and send her a ton of messages and ask a shit ton of questions. Thank you. You know who you are. But I have been going through this process with insurance. I had to do a 6-month wait period. I had to do a lot of blood tests. I had to meet with a nutritionist. I had to prove that I had tried other things to lose weight other than starving myself, and I had to prove that I was basically a good candidate for this VSG surgery. So I had to get a physical, I had to get a bunch of blood work, an echocardiogram. It's not easy, the things they put you through to qualify for this surgery, but it's worth it. Like I said, my surgery's 4 days away. I had a psychiatric evaluation. I had a sleep study. I had to do a lot of things, but I am appreciative that I had to go through those things, because I feel like, being in the nursing field, that the reason why the doctor wants me to go through all these things is because he wants to make sure I'm healthy enough to go through this surgery, which is a big deal to me. I want to be healthy enough. So that's kind of like a little backstory of why I chose the VSG surgery. A lot of people are like, well, is that like gastric bypass? It's not. They don't reroute your entire intestines like gastric bypass. They basically cut your stomach, like I said, to a very small, it almost looks like a banana, but it's not as extreme, I guess I could say, as gastric bypass, but you are expected to lose a lot of weight. My doctor said I could expect to lose 100 pounds, and I'm very excited to go through with this, but also very nervous. I'm on my pre-op diet now, and just being on my pre-op diet, I've lost 10 pounds, which is pretty significant for a week. I've been on my pre-op diet for a week. I told myself that I would be comfortable enough to share my starting weight with you guys whenever I've lost 30 pounds. That was like my goal to myself. So I would like to be completely transparent with everybody, because a lot of the YouTube videos that I watched that helped me, people were very transparent and honest, and that was something that enticed me to get this surgery. So whenever I hit my 30-pound mark, I will let you guys know what my starting weight was. But so far I'm 10 pounds down on this pre-op diet. Like I said, I go in for surgery on Monday. I have to scrub with a special soap the night before surgery and the morning of surgery. I have to get a shower. So Friday night they're going to call me and let me know what time I need to go into the hospital to get my surgery done. My husband's taking me Monday morning. I'm very excited. I'm so happy that he can be with me because my parents will actually be out of town. They're going on a vacation that they very much so deserve. My daughter will be, I wish she could come, but unfortunately she's going to be with a babysitter. She's a little bit too wild to be waiting in a hospital with my husband, even though I'm sure the nurses and doctors would love her. But I just wanted to get on here and kind of say that I will film the day after my surgery while I'm in the hospital, just because I think that watching people recover from the surgery was an important part for me to decide to get the surgery as well. So I will talk to you all soon, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.